What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, finally not doing a North American players VOD review. We are VOD reviewing Sologesang. If you do not know Sologesang, he is one of my favorite European players to VOD review. He's just always, I feel like, on the cutting edge of new comps, and even more so than that, I feel like always refining comps that exist already. This is somebody who is constantly looking at the meta, studying VODs, being just somebody who puts a ton of work in, which is something that I think, especially on other TFT streams, you basically just see people queue it up. I love Solo. He really, I feel like, takes you through the process whenever you watch his games and his not even games. So we start off here. Check the Stargazer, and it is the Mountain, which is a pretty strong one, so that's something that we can certainly think about here. We have this Cho pair, this Lysandra. It's Echo plus Thresh Portal, which is kind of... it's interesting. There's weird possibilities there of, the random stuff from Thresh. Echo has a lot of kind of very variable options as well here. So a lot of different possibilities here. But we start off stellar combo, risky moves, backup bows. I love risky moves, but I don't know if you can really take it in a spot like this. Backup bows does at least give you these extra bows, which could very nicely play into some kind of Stargazer line. But then he also sees Latent Forge, which is just, in some ways, low-key a better backup bows in that, it's going to take you some time to get there, but it's going to give you a potential artifact. And yep, this is a 2-1. We are going to lock in on Stargazer, especially because we see this 3 Stargazer opener here. We can get Mountain in on 2-1, which is just fantastic here. So if you guys haven't been playing the Stargazer line too much, it's... the new school version of Stargazer that a lot of people play around, the Nova version, has really just become the dominant version. You can see even Solo team plannering out some of those units that end up on the version. He's also going to take a look at artifacts here. The main ones that you do want to look out for, obviously, that Titanic. Titanic is amazing in this comp, but there are some other decent ones. You saw Collector was in there, Varus Obsession is in there. There's a few okay ones, but the dream for Solo is to play this into Titanic Hydra here, get a ton of value out of that onto Xayah. She just procs it an insane amount, and you will just win the game a lot of the time if you do end up having that. So we can just, for now, continue to sit on this board here. Not obviously expecting to win streak in this spot here with no real upgrades. The thing that honestly I think Solo would prefer in this spot is a loss streak, but he does obviously have to play this 3 Stargazer for now, so he can't really play anything much weaker than that. I guess he could take the units off of the hexes and try to full open, but I think he should be fine here to lose most fights as long as people aren't playing super weak boards. But the main reason we do want a loss streak in this spot, right, is we need bows. If you're playing the Xayah comp, you need at least 2 bows, ideally 3 bows, sometimes even 4 bows. You would never turn down. Like, there's a lot of value you get out of getting bows here. Ooh, artifact, it's... I don't know if it's actually even that good here. I always love it. The downside is actually pretty low in this spot here because we know we're going to be loss streaking anyway, so you might as well take it, I guess. Just Thresh's random one always feels so good here, but I think, honestly, we know that we're going to be loss streaking, getting those extra emblems off of Mountain and just playing this kind of like generally weak board for now. So what's the downside to taking this here? You can just wait and see what you end up getting out of the artifact. It's just kind of like, with you already having 1 artifact, a second one after that might end up actually not being that valuable here, but it is also another chance to potentially hit Titanic Hydra, so that's something you got going for you here. He's actually, yeah, and we definitely need to sell off here, make gold here. We are leaning into a pretty decent loss streak here, but probably only going to get the 1 item anvil. The upside is we did get the first bow off of Carousel here, so we have that also. Solo, always somebody's doing, he's always doing something like physical. I remember he used to have it like when you sub, he had these like tiny little weights that he would do like some reps every single time, but now he's like done like does he have like a little like treadmill to go on or something? I don't know. In any case, looks like he's locked in at this point. He said, okay, time to lock in here. We are getting into stage 3. Stage 2, we can just chill loss streak here. Once again, would have loved to get that 5 loss this stage, but it was just not in the cards. But hey, at least we are going to get a single item anvil from this. We get our first Stargazer emblem, which is just so big in the Mountain. This is one of these Stargazers that just has, it is the Stargazer with the highest potential cap. If you can get to, late game, that 8 Stargazer, 9, if you can get to obviously like 11 Stargazer, then you can win the game, but it's not the easiest thing to get to, I will say. But yeah, I mean, super, super rich in this spot here. We have our anvil here. Get another tier, which is a bit awkward here. Probably, ooh, really? I feel like you're forced to just take the second bow here and make red buff here. And yeah, he is going to go for that in the end. He looked at the Kraken there, but I think red buff is just too important of an item on Xayah. It is her best item by far. It's a lot of straight up attack speed onto her, and you can see he's kind of filtering and saying even with artifact, you know, it still shows that red buff is really, really nice to give the Xayah the attack speed that you need when you are playing around something like Titanic Hydra, something even like Gold Collector. Just getting that attack speed is everything, and applying heal cut to basically the entire board is really nice. It's a good thing in general. Next augment here, low key, could it actually be Pandora's here? You can go for okay. Low and like honestly high key, isn't it actually Pandora's in this spot here? It's one less item than small grab bag, but it fixes your kind of awkward components here. This glove is not that amazing. It gives you the option to reroll bad artifacts, though obviously you don't want to sit here and reroll them forever. You could even go crazy and reroll the Stargazer emblems, but you don't really want to do that here. Ooh, okay. He ends up feeling lucky, and he says, you know what? I do need some econ to play the game. So sadly, we will not see a woke Pandora's game here. I mean, the downside to taking Pandora's is obviously that we're getting our artifacts pretty late into the game. You know, if this was like a 2-1 portable into like a 3-2, then we could then we could use the Pandora's all this stage, maybe lose a few more fights, but then start, you know, rerolling stuff. But I mean, we're not getting our portable for another couple of rounds. We're not getting the one that we got off Echo for a little while longer either. So it's like kind of, it's going to take a long time for us to actually get these artifacts. And then if we're going to be rolling them, I mean, it's very possible that we never roll into something that we like. Upside would be that, you know, you can roll them on minions. So that's pretty cool. But I think Solo just says it's a little too risky, and guaranteeing an econ augment is never bad, especially because we don't have that much of an econ opener, right? We don't have any kind of like econ trait that we're playing right now. We didn't have the full loss streak or a full win streak, so we should actually be relatively broke this game. There's no reason that we should have gold here unless we get some gold from Echo, something like, hey, 2-5 costs. I mean, don't you have to take that in this spot here? It's so good. And we do get, I mean, the Xayah here feels amazing to get to the Xayah. The only downside is obviously we're stuck with this rod here. Hey, this is where the Pandoras would have been crazy, but you know, so Solo knows best, surely. But I mean, yeah, now we're going to be in a slightly awkward spot with our items. We do get our anvil here. Parade for the good one. We do not get it. So we're between, I guess, fish bones and wit's end. I can actually, let's pull up the stats here. Why not? All right, here we are in our Xayah stats. I'm just going to say a Xayah with 3 items. This is like probably slightly biased towards some stuff, but it's not the worst here. Wit's End and then Fish Bones. And I mean, if you look at the two, the stats actually do prefer the Wit's End on her. Just the extra damage on attack is not bad versus the extra attack speed. Not amazing. The AD, not even that amazing. So, I mean, if you go by the stats, it should be Wit's End. And Mr. Gasang here, Sologesang, does end up taking the Wit's End here. He says, I mean, the stats say it's better, and it kind of makes sense. The only downside is that Wit's End is like kind of a defensive item. It tends to do best on these like AP attack speed, like frontliner style units. If you guys remember, oh God, why is this the first place my brain went? Viego, set 15 Viego. You used to go like stretchy arms on him, but if you didn't have that, like a Wit's End on him, it's like attack speed, it's AP, it's healing, it's everything. Like that's, I don't know why that's where my brain went straight to, but that is the type of unit that you tend to want this kind of stuff onto, right? The attack speed, the AP, and really the defensive stats are the big thing there. But still, the extra damage is good onto the Xayah, making the best out of a okay, mediocre situation, I would say. And yep, we are going to chill out the rest of the stage here. And hey, we do still have another shot. We have that Echo artifact coming as well. So maybe that can be, maybe we can get the Giga set up here, Wit's End, and the other one here. We're going to get it. We get actually Sniper's Focus, which is not bad at all onto Xayah. I guess I do still have the stats pulled up. So here, I can just pull these up in my other monitor so that you guys aren't... We don't have to spend all this time looking at it. Oh, the stats hate Sniper's Focus onto Xayah. I don't actually... No, I mean, I do believe that it's not that great on her. I mean, the damage amp is not great on sniper-style units, and the other thing is that, I mean, she's not, like, getting insane sniper's value. I think the other reason why the sniper's item doesn't look amazing onto her is because it means that you haven't moved that item onto Jhin, right? That's the dream, is that you get to Jhin later, and then you put that item onto him, and that should be pretty good. And we are going to make the IE, make triple tank item here, which ends up actually working out pretty nicely. The Rod turns into Crown Guard, the Tier turns into Vow, and yeah, we get a triple tank item that's good on Jax and will be great onto the Nunu when we get there. And now we're actually in a spot where we have some gold to play with. It's pretty solid. We have 50 gold here, and we're going to be able to roll, 50 plus gold next round here. Solid combat augment would be good. Duo Q looks pretty nice. I'm actually a little surprised that he opts to take Duo Q over the Gilded Steel in this line, and does find the Jin, as every Xayah player does on level 8. You do always pick this up when you play this comp. It is just how the game goes. It's just guaranteed every single time you play this line. We're gonna roll a bit, find 6 Samiras, which is interesting. It's also kind of funny. We are playing a slightly different version of this comp because we haven't reached the Nunu yet, and because we have Mountain, we actually don't have to feel bad about that. We can still play 4 Stargazer really, really nicely. And because we don't have the Nunu, we're actually not playing any Vanguard on our board whatsoever. So this allows us to fit everything along with, this 3 sniper setup. Normally, you're only playing 2 snipers. Once you find the Jin, the Samira comes out. But yeah, we're actually considering potential Samira 3 out here. I mean, the idea is TK could print this for us if we find a couple extras, and that would be a great way to cap out this board. The board does look pretty strong for now, though I am still a little apprehensive about this front line, holding up. We are just tanking a Jax 2 in this spot here, but it's a 4 Stargazer, 2 Bastion Jax 2, so he should be decently tanky, and the Xayah is doing a lot of work, you can see here, with all these artifacts. Yeah, she's actually clearing and winning fights, and this is really why I wanted to do this VOD review, is to just yap about how good this Xayah line is here. I surprised he's hovering roll the bones here. I thought it would just be blessing speed for, yeah, okay, I feel like it's definitely just blessing speed for the Xayah here. I don't know that we need another bow here. We don't need Last Whisper because we are going to play Aatrox Maokai basically, well, no, not basically, entirely the entire game. So that's something that we don't need to worry about. Do find the Blitzcrank as well here, so we're doing quite well on the units that we're picking up, but still actually don't have the Nunu, so it's actually a little bit awkward to fit right now. We don't have any Vanguard in. The dream is obviously this eventually. Samira is going to come out, and then we are going to move the items over to Jin, and then we're going to play the Nunu and get a bunch of Stargazer in, get actually like pretty high on the amount of Stargazer that we have in via Mountain, which is really, really nice. But yeah, we are going to win this fight versus this Xayah board. You can see a Xayah versus Xayah action here. And yeah, I mean, the comp is just so consistent. I feel like that's the big thing that I want to hit home after watching this comp more and just seeing it played more, playing it myself, is just, it's so consistent. The level 8 board is disgustingly strong, and if you have enough gold to reach it, like Solo did this game, though I do really love that he did opt to play around this Jax instead of rolling for some kind of 2-star 4-cross. He said, you know what, I trust in the Xayah, I trust that I can win a lot of fights this stage, and also, this is the other really nice thing about this line, is not only is it consistent on level 8, but it caps really nicely on level 9, level 10. There's so many 5 costs. You have the Blitzcrank you want to play on this board, you have the Jin that you can play on this board, you can actually just go for everything. We also get some more gold from TK, which is not bad here. I don't know that you can take this many. Oh, this might have to just be it. I mean, GS looks pretty good. We already have the heal cut here, so we're probably going to reforge this and yeah, make Redemption. I mean, Redemption GS doesn't even sound bad. And yeah, we are going to make it here and move the GS over to the Xayah and the Snipers over to the Jin, like we talked about just earlier. There's no reason to play this there. We do find a couple of blitzes. Yeah, actually a pretty hasty roll down from Solo, saying we do at this point need to find some frontline. And he does find it. He finds the Blitzcrank, and he also finds the Thomas Kench 2-star, which is huge here, and does opt to just get the Mordekaiser in over the Blitzcrank for now. Worse unit, but better traits, right? We're getting Dark Star in with this guy, which is pretty nice. I'm actually a little bit surprised. Obviously, it is one more trait for Ross, which is cool, but I would have thought the Blitzcrank is good enough that you would play him even at 1-star, but looks like that's not how Solo thinks about it. He is going to roll down here. Now that we have the Blitz 2, surely this is going to come in, and also now that we have Jin paired here, he is going to sell off of some of this stuff and say, okay, I mean, we're not going for Samira 3 here, and we can even just play this as our cap out here. Normally, once again, you'd play Nunu on this board, but because we have the extra Stargazer from Mountain, we can actually just kind of disregard playing deeper into Stargazer and fit this Mordekaiser on the board for Vanguard. And for Darkstar, what I will say is I imagine if we do find a Nunu that is just going to come onto the board, you would drop Darkstar and a trait for just getting an extra level of Stargazer, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm interested to see how Solo does cap this board out and finish. Also, it's still crazy that we have all these items onto the Jax here. But I mean, Jax is a beast. They have tried to nerf this unit so many times, and every time it feels like he just comes back maybe not stronger, but still quite strong, still good enough to exist in the meta and be a fantastic unit to play around. We are going to rotate into this very, very strong Anima board, though honestly the fight's pretty close. Oh my god, if we had Jintu, we would have easily won that fight. If we had even like Nunu, I wonder if we had won that fight. I mean, that is an incredibly good showing for this board here. We roll down, we do pick up Jintu, which is huge. We also find Morg too, and so that's going to be our in on this board as well. Hodge is going to move up to Blitzcrank, and yeah, wow. I mean, that's a double trait drop here. You lose 2 traits to play this Morg, but he values the Morgana that highly as just a tank on this board, because once again, we're still item carrying this Jax here, and so just having another 2-star 4-cross frontliner to play around is invaluable on this board. That's a really interesting idea. I would be really tempted to just play this Mordekaiser here just for the double trait. The Vanguard for Blitz is obviously really good, and it's extra Armor Noir onto our entire board and attack speed via Redeemer, but he opts to play the Morgana, and I mean, I could see it. I could certainly see it. We can also see Solo locking in that top 4 here. He does finally find Nunu here, so we can see what is the unit that we want to play here. Nunu, Morg2, or the 1-star Mordekaiser. Probably not going to be Mord because we opted to cut him for that. And it looks like he is just going to keep the Morg on the board. Looks like he does really value this unit. I have seen more and more people. I mean, I talked about it in one of my other VOD reviews where I was talking about Fast 9 via Morgana. Is that, I mean, I feel like more and more people have actually realized that this Morgana unit's actually not bad. She's a decent tank in her own right. And yeah, Solo is going to play around that. Get another Stargazer spout, which is beautiful. Brings us up to 6 Stargazer. And I mean, at this point, we're getting the majority of the value of Stargazer. Those last few upgrades in Stargazer are really, really, really nice to, you know, get value that's scaled on all of the other units, right? You're getting it onto all of the units that have the Stargazer spout, which is amazing. And then, you know, also scaling it on top of that, which is just huge. And we have the possibility of taking Protectors of Vow and throwing it onto Nunu. Surely, I mean, maybe not. Maybe we don't play the Nunu here. I'm just blown away. I will say, this other guy FF'd, so it's a top 2 already for us, which is pretty good. Wait, yeah, actually the other player that we fought did lose, and okay, he is now, especially with the Vow, gonna say, we must play Nunu here. 7 Stargazer is such a big in on this board here, and yeah, we can just double Vow this guy, Crown Guard this random Rost here. Okay, this looks good to me. Gives my brain the warm fuzzies of seeing the units that I thought would go onto the board here. Also, wait a second, I just realized it's a Xayah versus Xayah top 2 here. Either way, Xayah is winning this lobby. It's just, is it Sologesang winning the lobby, or is it Dalsam here? So I guess we'll see here. I mean, Solo is looking at pushing 10 in this spot here. The other board is already level 10. The only slight scary thing is that Dalsam has the Thresh boon, which accrues a lot of value over time. It's mid-stage 6. So that's potentially like a lot of extra HP, attack speed onto that board, maybe even some extra items that have been farmed. So that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause thinking about if we can win this fight. But I will say, it looked like the last fight went really, really well. This fight, I have Caster Cursed, and we got absolutely cleared. But level 10 is coming here. This is Morgana. Ooh, and Nunu 2 here. Okay, the board is looking very nice. Obviously, no need to play the Mord at this point. We already have the 2 Vanguard in, so just getting random Dark Star on this board is definitely not as good as just getting the Dark Lady effect onto this board here. And we'll see what we can do here. Xayah in an okay spot to not lose a lot of that sniper's value. Jhin going to do a lot of work here. I mean, we have Jhin, we have so many upgrades. This guy has better combat than us for sure. The Climb the Ladder, by the way, really, really nice with Stargazer. And ooh, is that just gonna be too much for us? No, I mean, actually the healing here from Wit's End ended up being huge. It allowed the Xayah to survive here, so that's actually insane. We are gonna take Adaptive here, move this over to Nunu to give him even more mana to play with, and this is almost guaranteed to be the last fight here. No, straight up guaranteed. It's stage 6, right? So straight up guaranteed for this to be the last fight here. Win or lose, that is going to decide what happens in the game here. Swaps Jhin and Xayah over to the right side here to help them focus fire units down together. Does mean that they run the risk of getting double CC'd here by stuff like that Nunu, but I think our Nunu, especially with these items, is just too tanky, too strong. And yeah, this fight's actually looking fantastic. Super, super easy. And that is an easy dub for Sologesang. So just a great showing of this Xayah line, just really nicely played, showing how to cap around it, how to, you know, potentially play for super high cap of hitting artifacts and things like that, but then when you miss those, still, you know, getting good stuff out of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like the video, comment down below if you enjoyed it, if you've played this comp, what do you think about it? Check out, boom, that Xayah code right there, boom, it's gone now. Ooh, you might have to go back and check that. But there is also, I called it a Xayah code because the layer that I have on OBS is Xayah code, even though it is that Pengu. It's like a having fun Pengu. He's like playing a guitar or something. But there's the code for you guys for this video. Only got a couple left. Still that player from the commenter from the old video has not reached out to me yet, so I might give him a little while longer, and if not, I'm going to reach out to somebody else in the comments and see if I can get them the code. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my links down below, and I will see you guys. Oh, one new thing, actually, one kind of announcement, one new thing that I'm trying out here, let me know how you guys like this, is if you guys go to my Discord now, which hopefully you guys have all joined, I am adding this thing up here, this events section here, where I will have what streams I have. So if you guys are ever curious, like when my next stream is, because especially on weekends, I do it a little bit haphazardly. I'm going to try to, especially if people, you know, enjoy this and find use in this, put my streams up here in the Discord. So whenever you want to know when the next stream is, boom, you just click on the events here. I'm trying to have my Discord be, you know, kind of like the place where you get everything. You get my YouTube videos, you get the streams, you get all this kind of stuff. You even get all this stuff if you are in my coaching program. So this is like the main hub for all of my content. So yeah, hopefully you guys find that helpful. And with that being said, I will be live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Time. So come check out my stream then, and I'll see you guys there. All right, goodbye.